Hey friends, today we are going to be working on our spring cleaning checklist, and as you can tell, I have a couple things marked off my list, but I have a lot more to go. So join me as we do that today. We're going to start with the refrigerator just because it's the chore that I was dreading the most. I don't know what it is about the refrigerator, but I really despise cleaning it out and organizing it. I can keep a lot of spaces organized in my home, but the refrigerator is always a challenge for me. So we're going to try to implement some new organizational items in here to help us, but let's just see kind of how it goes. So we're just starting by removing everything, and then we will give everything a good vacuum and wipe down. We have lived in this house since July, and I think this is the third time that I've cleaned out the fridge, like taken everything out and wiped it down. I know I should probably do it more often than that, but I was honestly surprised at how many things were expired when we haven't even lived here a full year yet. So I did get rid of a couple things that were expired. Thankfully, they were items that were mostly used up anyway, so it wasn't a big waste. But for the most part, all of this will be going back into the refrigerator. So just getting the last little bits moved out before we can clean it all up. Okay, now that everything's out, we're going to give you a closer look at all the nastiness that is in the bottom of the refrigerator. Those were not too bad, but the drawer that the meat and the cheeses go in was pretty gross. So I don't know what it is about cheese, but we do have a new solution for our cheese that will hopefully help prevent that. And then that's where I usually put like apples and grapes and stuff like that. And then to the right was my lettuce and tomatoes. So those all get pretty yucky. So we're just going to get them all cleaned out. But as I'm going, I am making a list of things that are running low, or maybe those items that were expired that I need to replace. That way I can make sure to add them to my grocery list on my Walmart app as soon as I'm done. But I got this really nice little vacuum. The company reached out to me and wanted me to try it out, and I must say I was really impressed. When I first opened the package, I wasn't really sure because it was so small, and I thought this thing is not going to be very powerful. But once I got it charged and working, it has so much suction. I ended up using it in my refrigerator, and then my husband wanted to play with it a little bit, and he ended up using it in my dryer vent. He stuck the nozzle down in there and got so much lint out of that dryer vent. So I am 100% satisfied with this product, and I'm so glad that I got it. It is by the brand Saker Plus, Saker Plus, and it says it's a 3-in-1 vacuum. I think it's mostly made for like vehicles because it is so small, and it has a USB charging port, so it's really handy to keep in your car. I almost want one in my car and in my kitchen just because, you know, there's always crumbs and little things in your refrigerator, in your drawers and cabinets that you're always looking for something quick to suck it all up, and this is perfect for that. So I'm really excited to use it in all the places. As I said before, I'm going to try to do better about keeping the refrigerator more organized, and to do that, I got these little containers that I'm going to try to empty out some of the baggy items that tend to spill, or the kids don't get them sealed back up and then they go bad. So things like that I'm trying to find a better solution for. So we'll see if this helps. Hopefully we can stay on top of it a little bit more. But before I put everything back, I wanted to go ahead and give everything a quick vacuum. This, like I said, this little vacuum was seriously amazing. I couldn't believe how strong of a suction power it had. It sucked everything up. Normally when I clean out my fridge, I have to take the trays out and soak them and do all that. And anyway, I just sucked it all up with this little vacuum, and then I wiped it all down, and we were good to go. You will see a theme in my spring cleaning for this year, and it is done is better than perfect. So I don't normally use a Clorox wipe to clean my refrigerator. However, I was just kind of in one of those moods. I just wanted to get the job done, and the Clorox wipes worked wonders. It worked just fine. In fact, it was kind of nice because it was so thin I could get like in the crevices really good. But we got the job done, and that's all that matters. Let me know in the comments if your family is a condiment family or not. I feel like we for sure are a condiment family. We have every condiment you could probably imagine. In fact, I was trying to go through them and dwindle them down to like only the ones that we absolutely need, and I really couldn't even do that. I did go ahead and put some, and you'll see in a little bit, in a separate container that I'm going to put in the outside fridge, and those are more just like different sauces and things that we use for certain meals that we don't use on a regular basis, that we don't have to clutter our main refrigerator up with. So I thankfully have a garage fridge that we keep like drinks in, and I did go ahead and put some stuff out there. It is very bare bones, but it is cleaned and organized, and I'm loving this meat and cheese drawer for sure. But now it's time to go grocery shopping so I can stock it all back up. This is my favorite time to clean the refrigerator, is when it is very low and has hardly anything left in it. So that's why I took advantage of this morning to get that done before I did my grocery run the following day. But this is what I was talking about. Any of the sauces that I don't use every day or every week, I put in this container, and then we're going to put it out here in the garage fridge. And of course, when I came out to the garage fridge to do that, I realized that it needed a little bit of attention too. So I just kind of tidied it up a little bit and organized it. It didn't need clean because it is pretty new. We haven't had it very long at all. It just needed rearranged a little bit and organized. So I'm going to do that now, and then we can add those condiments into this refrigerator. Again, this refrigerator was running really low as well. I try to keep this fully stocked with all kinds of varieties of juices and Gatorades, Prime, sodas, water, all kinds of things, so that when the neighborhood kids come, or my nieces and nephews come, or just anyone in general, they know exactly where my drinks are, and they can grab and help themselves to whatever they want, which is just really nice that they don't have to feel like they have to ask for a drink or bother me with anything. They can just grab as they please, and everyone that comes over knows exactly where to go. So I love having that as an option for everyone, especially going into the summer months. We usually have a lot of people over throughout the summer, and especially living here at the new house, we have a lot of friends living close by, especially the kids, neighbor kids that come over often. Our kids just kind of bounce back and forth between each other's houses, so it's super fun. And I just, like I said, like for anyone that comes over to feel comfortable, and if they're thirsty, they can get a drink. Most of those kids know where my snack cabinets are. Like, they just make themselves at home, and I love it so much. But now we're going to go ahead and finish cleaning inside. Miles is doing his chore of taking the trash out. As I've been talking about, we are trying to implement more chores, and today I took this day as a day for them to learn a few new tasks. So normally are supposed to wipe down their own vanity. However, it's not something that they do routinely. As I've said before, it's more just whenever I think of it, I say, okay guys, we're going to go wipe down your vanity. But 9 times out of 10, I ended up just doing it on a Friday when they're at school and doing it all myself. But I'm going to try to be better about incorporating their help and letting them learn some of these skills as well. So they enjoyed spraying down their vanities and wiping them all down. We learned a lot on this day, as you'll be able to see, and we got a lot done. And I'm really excited for my new chore system that I am still working on creating, because I think it's going to take a lot of time away from what I do and the time I spend cleaning all these little areas, so that I can do more fun things with the kids and more of the things that I enjoy myself as well. So it's going to be great, I think, coming into the summer, having the kids help more and learning more life skills. Mason cleaned the toilet for the first time. Yes, he's 11 and he's never had to clean the toilet before. This is the things I'm talking about. I'm trying to be better, but he was gagging the whole time, and it was hilarious because this is their toilet, and that's what I kept telling him. Like, this is why mommy doesn't enjoy cleaning the toilet, because you boys make such messes. And he's like, that is not from me. It was so funny, but hopefully that will teach them to aim a little better, and if not, they'll just be cleaning up their own messes from now on. So Miles wanted to clean the shower, so I let him have that task. Of course, I helped him with this, but he did a really good job. I did all of the spraying just so that it kind of got where it needed to go. We let it set for a few minutes, and then he got in there and started scrubbing it down and did a really good job. Since the kids were doing most of the cleaning, I stuck with my Jaws products just because they're a little safer, and he used the Norwex mitt. I think it's called like a shower mitt. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had that forever, so I can't remember what it's called, but we used the Jaws shower cleaner that I sprayed it all down with, and then he used the little scrubby mitt that I got from Norwex, and it did a great job. And clearly this is not going to be on the routine chore list, but it's kind of nice to know that I for sure can add this here and there when it needs done, because he definitely did a good job. So we're going to move on to Mason's chore for this round, was to wipe all the light fixtures. And if you didn't know any better, you would think he was rubbing a hole in that, but really there was paint splatters on the light switch that he was trying to get off, and I finally looked at it and told him, like, it's not coming off, buddy, don't worry about it, just do a good job of wiping it down, and that's fine. Miles wiped down all the handles throughout the entire house, and then he also wiped down the back door. This door gets all of our traffic, and of course it's white, so it does get dirty and shows the dirt, so he wiped it all down for me, and then I started working on the windows. Once Mason was done with his task, he then started helping me with the windows, and I had to show you a close-up of this back door. It was gross from our cat and our dog. They like to fight between this window, so they get all up over it, and it's just really nasty and dirty. So I did the really tall ones, and then he did the lower ones, and we just worked together to get that done. And we spent, I would say, maybe an hour to an hour and a half doing this, so it's not like they worked all day long, and they really didn't complain at all. They were excited to help and to learn what kind of different chores they were going to get to do. We are going to try to incorporate some form of allowance with the chores that they do weekly, and they will be monitored as far as, if their grades aren't doing well, or if they're not listening, or they're fighting with their brother or sister, they will get some of that taken away. So it's just going to kind of be on a behavioral / chore rotation, and we'll see kind of how it goes. This is the first time we've done anything like this, but I do want to reward them if they are going above and beyond their basic things that they have to do every day. But if they're going above and beyond and helping mom get some of the other things knocked off the list, that is something I definitely want to encourage. So we're going to just kind of play around with it and see how it goes. But we're going to go ahead and finish up the windows in the main living area, and then all the main living area windows will be clean. We were conversing under the night sky. I would love to know, have you started your spring cleaning? Do you do a spring cleaning, or do you just kind of maintain all throughout the year so you don't have to do a deep clean in the spring and the fall? Or how do you do yours? Because I'm curious to know. I would love to be that person that just cleans. My house is clean enough all the time that I don't have to spend a lot of time doing a deep clean, but that's just not real life for me. So this is what we're doing, and we're going to get it done. As I said before, done is better than perfect, and it feels really good to get several things marked off my list today. Shout out to my handy cleaning car. It is seriously life-changing. I love it so much, especially when you're doing a whole house clean like this. So recommend getting a cleaning car or a cleaning caddy for you at home. This cute little towel was made by one of my friends, or well, I guess she had it made. She is a friend in real life that also follows my channel, and I love her to pieces. She's so sweet and thoughtful, and had that little towel made. It was like a shape of a bunny with all of our family's names on it, and it's just so cute. I don't even know where she got it made, but I love it so much, and I can't wait to display it every year. But anyway, moving on to the stovetop, I usually clean the stovetop with rubbing alcohol to get it all shined up, but since I already had this sprayway cleaner out, I thought I'm just going to try it, and it worked like a charm. Luckily, the stovetop was already clean, so I didn't have to worry about like scrubbing it before I sprayed it. I did try to do as much cleaning as I could the day before this, before I actually did like my deep cleaning. So anyway, like I said, I love this product. It just shines up the stainless steel just like it makes it look brand new again, and that is the goal. Now, inside the stove is a different story. I have not touched the inside of the stove since we moved in July, so it is getting pretty rough, and I promised myself when I got new appliances that I would not let it get this bad to where I had to spend a lot of time cleaning it, but clearly I have already broke that promise to myself. So here we are, doing what we got to do. So I started out with spraying it with Dawn Power Wash, and I let it sit for a little while. While I let that sit, I did run a cleaning cycle on my dishwasher and did a few other things, and then I came back and sprayed it with vinegar and let that sit for a little bit, and then I came back in and started scrubbing it with a Scrub Daddy sponge. Well, I don't even know what it's called, but not the round face one, but the square or rectangle one that has all the little faces on it. I used that first and started to get the worst of it up, and you'll see how well that did here in just a little bit. It did do a pretty good job on the glass part. However, on the inside, it really didn't do much. It did get like the really bad stuff, some of it up, but it didn't get it all up. Definitely not good enough for my liking. So I did end up having to go in again and try a whole nother product. So the next product that I ended up wiping it all down with a paper towel before I started with my new product. So you can kind of see the difference there. It did bring some up, but definitely not enough. So then I smeared the pink stuff paste all over everywhere. Any of those black baked on areas, I just smeared it all over with my hand. I felt like my hand, well, one, my container's really low, so I kind of have to dig in there with my hand, so I just used my hand and rubbed it all over. I did end up putting some more on the glass part just to get it that much better, because there was still some residue and I wasn't super thrilled with it, so I just went ahead and did that. And then I started in on the inside of the oven, and this worked so much better than the first method. So next time I'll probably just go straight in with this and skip that other step. But you live and you learn, and you just never know. So I did go ahead and switch over to my regular Scrub Daddy sponge and scrubbed that all up, and it came off like a charm. It ended up making the glass look brand new again. I wiped it all down with a paper towel, just a dry paper towel, to get the worst of the soapy, suddy, cream off. And then I went in with my Jaws window spray to just shine it back up and get it nice and clean. Back into the oven, I finished scrubbing that again with the Scrub Daddy sponge and ended up getting almost all of it up. You can see in the end there is still a little bit, and I probably could have spent a little bit more time scrubbing and end up getting it all up, but I am not very patient, and that's just not something that I really care about doing. So I think I am going to try to run a self-cleaning cycle on the oven at some point and see if it doesn't take care of the rest. But here's the end result. It is so much better than it was before. You can still see some of the black things there, but it is way better than it was. And I think if I had it in me to do it again, I could probably get the rest of that up. But I wanted to go ahead and soak the grates or the trays in the bathtub, so I sprayed it with Dawn and put a dishwasher pot in there. While that's soaking, I did go ahead and add toilet bowl cleaner into the back of the toilets and then scrubbed all 3 toilets down. The kids wiped, well, I say that, Mason wiped their toilet, I cleaned my toilet and Malia's toilet, and then I went back in and scrubbed all the toilet bowls and then added those cleaning pods. So back into the bathtub after this has sat for a little while in hot water. I went back in and scrubbed them all down. They were pretty nasty as well. I was honestly surprised at how gross they were, but you can see in the water there, it is lifting right up. So like I said, I sprayed them with the Dawn Power Wash, and then I just put a dishwasher pod in the hot water with it and let it soak, and it seemed to do the trick. It's not perfect. They are not perfect, but once again, what is my motto today? Done is better than perfect. Just keep telling myself that. So we got that job done and let them set, and then we are switching over a load of laundry because my next step is going to be washing that shower curtain that we took off the boys' shower. It was disgusting, and you'll see that here shortly. I always have to laugh at the random things that you find while doing laundry or cleaning kids' rooms, and today it was a toothbrush in the towel load that I had already washed. So anyway, going in is that nasty shower curtain. So I told myself I was going to try to get it cleaned up, and then if it doesn't clean up, then I'm just going to have to get a new one. But I can go ahead and tell you that it did come out, and it looks white and sparkling new again, which I was super happy about. So I didn't have any bleach, so I just went ahead and used Dawn dish soap and vinegar and then Tide to clean it, and I did spray it down with that OxiClean Max Force. So that seemed to do the trick. Normally I would have used bleach, but I did read somewhere where bleach can actually turn white. It's kind of a yellow dingy color, and Dawn dish soap keeps them fresh and white, and it worked. So this is everything I got done on my list. I hope you enjoyed today's video and follow along for the next one. Bye.